morning, everybody, and to those who haven't joined us before, Happy New Year, Happy 2019, since it's the first time we've actually physically seen one another, and thanks, Lynn. What I'm going to do is almost repeat what Lynn's already done, but nevertheless, repetition is the mother of all success. So here we are with our goals again, and I know I keep saying goals again, but you know, if you don't have a goal, nothing's going to happen. You have to have something that you think you're going to move forward for, or else you stand still, and if you're standing still and everybody's going forward, then you're going backwards, even if you're standing still. So always remember that. But you know, to get to that emerald distributor that Lynn showed you on that last slide, always remember, big journeys start with small steps, and it all starts with you retailing and showing other people how to do exactly the same. Because what I'm going to do is really focus on Vivamk. And some of this is you, and some of it are the people that you're going to be speaking to. Because what do you want to earn every month? That's not just a question for you. That might change from month to month. It depends on your demands, it depends on what you want to pay for, or it depends on the likes of Louise and Sean, who love to go on holidays, whether they've booked something else on the spur of the moment and gosh, we need more money. So what do you want to earn every month? But then, you know, somebody fudges it. Let's face it, when you're talking to a total stranger, which is generally what we are when we first talk to people, are you going to tell somebody exactly what you're looking for? I know I don't. But not everybody is as inhibited as maybe I am. But there again, the majority of people don't. They're not going to say, well, actually, I'm looking for 2,000 a month. Because then the person on the other side of that chair from you might well turn around and say, don't think so. So you don't know what the stranger's reaction is going to be. So generally, it's a couple of £100. But no, keep going with that. When you're talking to somebody, keep going with it. What do you really want to earn? What's your big goal? Let's fantasize a wee while. Maybe you won't use those words, but that's where you want them to go. Because you see, you don't want them to tell you what they think they can earn, because generally people don't know what they think they can earn. That's the other difficulty. And you don't want them to, my graphics have moved as well, but nevertheless, it's fine. Not what you think. You don't want somebody to tell you what they think that you want to hear either. That's not good for them. And sometimes as well, you know, you're sitting there saying, well, I really want 2,000 quid, but I'll tell her 200. That'll keep her happy, and it doesn't make me seem like a fool. Because I might not want to do what I need to do to get that 2,000. There's all those things going round in your head and, you know, just juggling around. And remember, we're talking, it's different if you have a friend, but how many friends do you have that tell you every innermost secret? Maybe not all of them. And be aware, and I'll just pop that down for a minute and disappear from that screen and pick this up, because one of this here says, when I changed that and it hasn't saved it, oops. People want to be treated as an end in themselves, not as a means towards the gratification of another's vanity. In other words, you might want to have a business that goes to Emerald, but the person that you're speaking to at that moment really doesn't want to think, oh, she's fired me in here so that she can get to what she wants. Mm-hmm. That's not the object of the exercise. And that's from John C. Maxwell. That's where that comes from. So we work for the people in our business. They don't work for us. We work for them. That's, if you want to have a job, that's where we come from. So we have to become that teacher, we have to become that coach, so that other people will achieve their goals. No one's going to stay in your business earning a pittance. You have to teach them how to earn what they're looking for. That's more important. Your earnings will grow. Don't focus on it. Focus on what they're earning. But there again, don't push them to earn more than they are perhaps wanting either. Accept. That's what you want. I'll show you how to get there. When you change your mind, tell me. So it isn't what people can do for us, but what we can do for people. So although we are preparing our goals, always remember, it's people we work with. So your Star 500 is the great place to start. It's only 20 double duvets in a month in 30 days. Do you know that's all it is? Mm-hmm. That's all it is. And it's when you're working out something like this, you see how little it is.
For 5 weeks.
I mean, don't misunderstand. The essentials move really, really well. They do. But if you're advertising something, not in your own group, we all have shops, but in external groups, what's going to get you to a Star 500 if that's where you want to be quicker, simpler and easier? 100 bottles of some of our essentials range or 20 double duvets. You really have to bear that in mind when you're advertising in external groups. Or 150 catalogues a week. When we first started, we didn't know. Yes, people told us what the catalogue might give you, but you actually don't know until you go and do it yourself. So what we chose to do was to have £250 of orders every week. Now remember, that's a long time ago with a different company. It was still the same £1,000 a month that we were aiming for. Life has gone on since then. £1,000 a month in orders is a lot less now in real terms than it was then. And to be fair, we didn't have the products that we have now, nor did they have the cost attached to them. So you were having to sell lesser cost products and more of them to get what you were looking for. So if you're wanting £250 of orders every week, some weeks you might want 150 catalogues, but guess what? Some weeks you might need 300 catalogues. Set your targets and plan your work accordingly.
Well, it would be 300 if you want 250 in sales.
Yeah. This is only 500 a month, this one. Sorry.
Right, so,
sorry, I was going back. I was getting it wrong.
About your 250.
So your Star 500, yes, I was just trying to confuse everybody.
Yes, sorry. No, I was me got confused. I beg your pardon.
So £500 of orders in a month.
You have to go, if you want to go back, you need to. Don't keep clicking it. Just you need to unclick. You need to get rid of the next button. Then you want to go back.
There we go. Yeah. So at Star 500, you're going to get yourself an extra 3% bonus with your profit being £140. Now, what you want to do with that £140, because remember it's a goal setting training, not a retail training. What do you want to do with that £140? Well, it's £1,600 a year. Do you want to pop it into a different account? Because some people will look at £140 and say, can't do an awful lot with it. Could you do a bit more with £1,600? Would it cover the cost of your Christmas? So remember, when you're looking at things, try to suggest to people £140 might not seem very much, but if you want to give me £1,600 at Christmas time, I'd be very happy. I'd say thank you very much. That's made life a lot easier. I know. I'm just ignoring. Your next stage is your Star 1000, and really in your first month when you're talking to new people, then get them bedded in with a new shop and all the rest. Give them time to bed in. But if you've done £500 of retail, what's wrong with going out and doing 1,000? It's 30 days. It's 40 orders for double duvets. It's 10 a week. And you've got some days left just in case you need it. Work out for everybody 30 days. But what if it's the middle of the month when the person starts? Well, we've got calculators now, they're terribly simple. And you just pop in 500 and divide it by the number of days that are left, and lo and behold, they can get to 500 in the first wee file that they're in. It's not a big deal. So you, as a leader, have to calculate those things for other people until they get used to doing them for themselves. But 1,000, you're going to get 5% bonus, and your profit's 300. You're going to have 3,600, £3,500 in that account at the end of the year. Unless someone's wanting something for a specific purpose, £300, you see that in your bank account on a monthly basis. Unless you're a high earner, I would say that the majority of people see that at the end of the month. But if you're already managing your salary, then open another account and put it in it. You'll get very little in the way of interest, but £3,000 in premium bonds, you get no interest, but at least you maybe win something. So think forward, make it a benefit for someone, show them why they're doing it. I always remember many years ago I used the phrase, why am I going to stand at somebody's door knocking at it with the hailstones soaking my trousers for 50 quid a week? The reason? Because we had a goal, we wanted 2,000 a month. But that goal's not always apparent when it's a hailstorm and you're just home from your work, you've not had your dinner, and you really, really, really would rather be somewhere else. So that's where we have to go to get what we're looking for.
Press the wrong side, just press the
Yes, I keep pressing the wrong side, folks. Here's your premier. Now at this example here, and Kate, you're growing here. I wanted to use names, so you're growing. And Louise is there too.
You've got friend Louise,
yes.
Sorry, the rest of Kate's team.
Yes, I know. Don't set the complex, guys,
So you've got a 4,500 turnover in a month in this one, because you're doing 1,000. Kate's come in and she's got stuck in and she's doing 1,000. And Louise, well, she's just started and she's only doing 500. The girl in the shop that you spoke to, because remember, to build a business, unless you want to do high retail, you're going to have to speak to somebody. Oh my goodness, you're going to have to speak to somebody to get this goal that you want to achieve. Remember, you need a goal or you won't do what doesn't come naturally. So you're going to speak to the people in the shops, and you're going to put in shop ads as well, so that you can find those people. You've shown everybody how to do 1,000, because you know if you're doing it, you can show it. Your bonus is 10%. Lynn showed you that in the first training. Your bonus is 10%. Your team bonus or your volume profit is 5% of £3,500, £275, and your total profit is £525. Now, £525 can be a decent part-time income alongside a part-time job, if that's what someone wants. If someone's at home with their children, £500 alongside your children is a good story. We were looking for £2,000 a month. And what drew us in? A girl who had 2 little boys and worked and got her income up to £800 a month, working part-time alongside her 2 wee boys who were at school. That was what drew us in. So remember, those stories are really powerful. But that's just your first stage. It's not somewhere you stop. You don't rest. You keep going, because Kate's moving up that plan and Kate's goals are similar to yours. And you know, that's really exciting when you've got somebody in your business whose goals are bigger than yours. That's what you're looking for. So when you're thinking about your goals, always remember you're wanting people like yourself, or maybe better than yourself. Better's not a good word. Someone who has a bigger goal than you. And then we're up at bronze premier. And all you need for that, in actual fact, is a basic one person turning over £4,000 and some other people doing £3,000 outside it. I've done a bit more here because you see, your goal is to keep growing. It's to keep getting there, to keep showing people. So this bronze premier group is turning over £11,600 and your bonus is now 10%. You're getting 5% of 3,100 and that's this here, and I'll go over here because I don't know if there's a wee pointy bit. So that's your 3,100 and you're going to get 5% of that. 7% of 500 plus, where am I? Oh yes, James is doing 500. So you're going to get 7% of that, but then you're going to get 3% of Kate's Premier Group and giving you a total profit of £895. This is a part-time business. This is where your goals become really exciting. We're not at the £2,000 a month yet, but my goodness, what if you were still working full-time, which both of us were, and you had another £900, just off £900 going into your account every month. My goodness, no wonder at one point I remember thinking, we're awash with money. And that was how I felt because we were putting it into a separate account because we were very fortunate. We weren't wanting an extra £50 a week, which is not the way that everybody is in. And I've forgotten a retail article that I meant to bring, which showed, there was a retail article just about 3-4 weeks ago saying that the debt in Britain is sitting in credit cards of 73 million. 73 million. And how many payoffs has there been since Christmas time in companies that are relocating to other countries or just closing down, losing contracts? Because if you've got all your eggs in one basket, things are difficult. What if you've got somebody that's working full time just now, but unfortunately gets paid off in a week's time? Do you think that the stress that they might feel is going to be lessened by the fact they've got £895 coming in from another source that they know they can grow? That's where goals, your goal, but that's also where we hark back to, remember, it might be your goal, but we're working for other people. And when you consider the poverty that is in every street you walk into virtually, that we have a really good business to show people how they can escape from that poverty trap. And here we are going up to principal. Now remember, your principal is, Lynn showed you, it can be as little turnover as 24,000. Here, I've done it a bit differently, but that's only so that you can see where your goals are going. Because if you want to be an emerald, you also want to have growth in your principal level. Your bonus is 10%. It doesn't get higher than that on your own personal sales, but you're going to get 3% on your Premier Generations. And I've calculated that out, how you're getting your 3%, your 5%, 7% of the smaller amounts, giving you a total profit of £1,455. That's a full-time income for the majority of people. And guess what? It was a full-time income for the majority of people 10 or 15 years ago. And sadly, it's not moved on, although we now have living wages that's £9 an hour. But you know, how much, if you've got someone that has a goal that wants to buy a house, what if you want to buy a house? In some areas in Britain, it used to be when I was in the bank, you were talking about 2.5 times one plus the other of salaries. Sorry, I had to qualify that because I thought, you know, your salary, 2.5 times one plus the other to get a mortgage. Now, they're talking about 7 times your salary to be able to get a mortgage to buy a property that you're looking at. So when you're looking at your goals, look at how it's all going. £1,455, my goodness, that's 16,000. That person growing their business can suddenly see how that £20,000 to £30,000 of deposit that they need to save for a deposit for a property, because that's your minimum. How it can suddenly become reality, not just a tangible, I wish I had, and let's put my finger in the window, and how can I possibly save 20,000 in 2 years to buy myself a property, other than say to my mum and dad, you fancy freeing up some equity, and you know how you've saved all that money for your old age, well, can I have it just now? You know, so this is a means of showing how other people can reach their goals. And that's me totally finished. Thank you very much. Where am I going to say that? Oh yes, can I very quickly say, see this book here, I did have a Change Your Life in 7 Days. It's not one that you get shown that terribly often, but at the back of it, it has what we started off with, my big dream. And it asks you questions and asks you to fill in questions and give answers to, and you know, what's the important things in your world to you. So it's always worthwhile. You'll find it online. It's just worthwhile having a look and taking the passages from it that you're looking for.
Thank you very much. Clap, everybody.